Morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of Talking Bollocks, brought to you by Reefy as Fuck. Today's subject is going to be your next tank. You can have as many as you want. So, I don't know who wants to kick off. Let's go down the screen, as we always do, and hopefully nobody will leave midstream, because then it changes the order and I completely fucking lose my place. So, Tater's just left. Fucker. Bet he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose. And here he comes. Let's see if it fucks with the screen. Oh! Luck of the draw, he came back in the same place. Rob, your next
tank. Oh, my first?
Yes. I'm not going to ask you to talk about other people's tanks and who your inspiration is, because I think that's nobody. But on you go.
Is that how it came across? Arrogant twat. My next tank. I've thought I'd quite like to do a non-filtration, natural light only kind of bio type tank. So just a small tank with a, the sunlight tubes you can fit. So you put them in your roof and they bounce the sunlight down. Just have that over the tank. No filtration at all, and just see what sort of tank I'd end up with.
Okay, and what would you put? What would you put in it? Okay.
Just nothing, absolutely nothing stunning, but I just like the concept of how simple you could make a tank to run with basically water changes, natural sunlight. That's it. Live rock for filtration. You're going to have a very small bio load. I've just never seen a tank like that, really. So just
to clear something up, Rob, you said a small tank. Now, in relation to normal people's fish tanks, what does small mean to you?
Just like 8 foot.
Yeah. Just a
like an observation tank to just watch what pokes up out of the rock and stuff, and what appears, and it just does its thing. You're saying?
Yeah, because you buy some live rock, just give it natural sunlight, just see what happens, and
not worry about the critters and shit that you come in that could kill a acro or.
If you've got a mantis shrimp in there, then you just let it be. If you've got a bobbit worm in there, just feed it. Small puppies and stuff. Just
small puppies.
When our store started, we had a tank in the center where we put all of the nasty stuff people would bring in, and we labeled it swamp. And it was a #1 looked at tank, and all my other tanks must be complete shit, because they all only wanted to look at this slimy, dirty, what's growing in there, the different things that were popping up. It was all ever changing because there was no maintenance. It was very cool to look at.
Yeah.
Everyone likes looking at a car crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just see some weird shit that, most 99% of reef tanks are very samey, aren't they? Really.
Do you think, I don't know, I don't know what your sun cycle is like where you're at, but do you think you get enough sun to keep LPS alive?
I think I would down here. Ron, no, he wouldn't keep a slug alive like that.
Cave.
A troll in a
fucking cave.
I don't know. It's just something I'd like to try. Maybe Maybe I'll have to supplement it at some point. But it'd be interesting just to see what that tank developed into.
Yeah, the solar tubes. The solar tube stuff's always interested me, but anytime I look into it, I'll find random reviews where people complain that the insides of the tube oxidized. I guess there's enough salt spray that gets up there, and then their efficiency just goes to shit. Because the inside's got to be like a mirror.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be really polished. Yeah.
You can't put acrylic to block the mist?
Yeah, I think you'd better block it off or have it high enough.
The what, Jim?
The mast? You can't put some acrylic to block any salt mast?
The mast.
So Julian Sprung has that LPS tank outside. Yeah, right. It's just a little pond. Yeah. Now I wonder how much maintenance he puts into that.
Is he
or
in
if he
Florida?
Just lets it be.
Yeah, he's in Florida.
Yeah, he's
getting
getting
very little.
getting some par.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's in there cleaning algae or if he's just letting whatever's in there do its thing. Like you're talking, Rob. I don't know.
I thought it was half shaded with his house.
Yep.
Is it?
It's right up against his house. Yeah.
Yeah, top off's just rain, I think, isn't it?
Yep.
I think it's pretty simple. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's nice. Good little idea.
That is a cool idea.
Does he just
locks into a saltwater lock, Ron, and just try it?
Nelly.
A lock.
He's going to grow a dinosaur.
Every day, just chuck a bucket of tropic marine salt in there, and eventually
It would just creep up.
you'll be fucking bankrupt.
Yeah, I think you've forgotten how much it rains here, Rob. My cave floods regularly.
Yeah, top off. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really, really cool idea.
Yeah. Other than that, I just want a tank I can dive in. Very simple. 9 foot, 10 foot deep.
Get some mermaid stuff.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get my towel on. Just go in there with my algae scraper.
I've always found the whole mermaid thing quite funny, right? Because see, if you think about a woman that lived in salt water all her life, she's not going to be that pretty, is she?
No.
Yeah.
She's going to have like seaweed.
That whole bottom part is a bit of a quandary, isn't it, really?
Well, what's going to happen there?
Well, exactly. Not a lot.
Which half is which? Is it like a woman's bottom and then a fish top?
No, you're
Here's a
free.
visual for you.
What the fuck?
Some might say that would be more functional. Anyway, I'm going to quickly move on from this before it goes any further. So I'm next on the screen, so I'll just go next. I have hardly ever kept any LPS, and I feel like it's another part of the hobby that I wanna try. So a big movement tank, but the other part of me is I want another tank like this, but just a huge lagoon, really, really shallow. So I've got a really bad back, and I find even this tank just a bit of a pain, bit sore after it. But the frag tank, just being able to walk up to it, and it's only a foot deep, and everything's within reach, everything's easy peasy. And when you switch the flow off and you look down and you see the fish swimming in between the corals and stuff like that, that just does it for me. So,
like Dr. Bees?
Yes. That's
just
so
a fucking massive coral tank with a foot deep.
Yep. And everything is right there, though. You know,
it's the wild corals one, where you can just step in it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Get your feet wet in the sand.
And the flatworms.
That's it.
I knew somebody was going to mention it. Scrunching your toes in the sand. No, that's flatworms. So yeah, that's
got rid of them. I think you got rid of them.
Do you have mangroves in it? If it was that shallow, would you do that?
100%. Yes, that's another thing that I've always wanted to do. Yeah, some mangroves, which then bridges my two passions of plants and corals, which is amazing. I can't believe there's something that exists that actually does bridge it, but there you go. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
So if you love that so much.
Sorry, go ahead.
How come you haven't done it yet? How come you haven't tried to keep mangroves yet? I mean, you could probably keep some in your frag tank.
The main reason is because I'm totally and utterly obsessed with bare bottom tanks. Now, I know we talked about this on the Discord not that long ago, but the fact that you could probably plant it in a basket with some sand and then sit the basket somewhere, but inevitably that sand is going to spread and it's going to go everywhere. And I mean, you know, I love a fucking messy tank, right? I mean, my tanks are shitholes, algae everywhere.
Fuck off.
Why don't you start it outside the tank in the garden center? Put them in some fresh water. They don't want salt water.
True. I
Put
could.
them in almost. It'd be cool. And then when they're ready, you could get a head start now. And then when you get to your dream tank, you throw that big bad fucker right in there.
That reminds me, I will actually need to drop my logo at the end of this.
Yeah.
Well done, taters.
Which AI logo are you going with?
No, I'm not. Russ's wife made me an actual logo, and it is
Badass.
dynamite. Finalized it a couple of days ago. I've already ordered
awesome.
the first T-shirt.
How many hidden dicks?
Oh.
So Russ and I obviously talked about it, but then I couldn't ask Kelly to do it. I just the first email I sent her, right, I already said fuck in the email, and I'd never spoken to her in my life. And it's just who I am.
Well, yeah, but she knows you're Scottish, so she understands. Like,
I don't know how many other Scottish people she would know. Therefore, would she understand?
no. But we have TVs and movie, so we all think that you just say fuck all the time. Anyway,
And carry knives. Just fucking
And carry
knives.
knives.
Oh, no. We don't carry knives. You can't carry knives. They're illegal. You're not allowed to
So
carry
was
them.
Train Spotting not a documentary?
well, I mean, but you fuckers think we all like are walking around with AR-15s all the time, so we think that you carry knives.
Because you do.
I mean,
Yeah, you do.
some do.
That's not a knife.
illegal, but
Right.
I heard that, Russ. A wee McDundee reference. Anyway, so yeah,
dogs.
big lagoon, really nice and easy to access everything because I'm old as fuck. So before we move on to the next person on the screen, I'm going to say Brandon decided that he wanted me to mention what his next tank is giving me, and I am going to quote his exact words.
Can we guess first?
Yes.
Is it a
I have one.
55-gallon barrel of acid?
Very good.
That's
No.
plausible.
Here we go. Brandon. Fuck off tank. Fuck off clowns. Fuck off and enemies. Bare bottom. Fuck off lagoon.
Oh,
Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
Fuck off, Brandon.
So there you go. That's what you'd have. So he'd have lots of anemones, clowns, and a giant lagoon. So he's copied me,
I
fucker.
was going to say 2 lagoon tanks.
Posting
More fu-
everywhere.
More enemies, really?
God. He just wants an enemy tanks.
Fucking
Like a-
enemies. This
He's got to
thing
graduate from that shit.
Fucking hate enemies.
They're the problem child of the reefing world.
I fucking hate them.
There and shut up. No, I want to block your overflow.
I think that is what caused me to lose a lot of interest in the flu ball, was trying to get an anemone out of the overflow teeth, the slots, like it was half and half. I'm like, you stupid bastard.
But these bubble
Yeah.
tips, or not carpet enemies, bubble tips.
I walked
Yeah,
into my
bubble tips.
LFS last week, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm doing a water change because one of the NEMs decided to hit a power head. So it just, I'm like, fucking things. He's like, yeah, I hate them. I'm like,
Yeah,
Hate
you
'em.
really do.
yeah, I fucking hate these things.
Yeah.
They're nice when the
They look
clownfish
cool,
host
but-
them, though, aren't they, Ron?
Sorry?
They're nice when
Clownfish
they
host
host.
them. They're nice.
Yeah.
I like the way they look, but
He's raging.
Right. Clownfish hosting an enemy
Ron,
is
keep your
Yeah,
the coolest thing in the hobby.
it is amazing. Brings so many people into
keep
the
your
hobby.
friends close and your enemies closer, Ron.
I'm not going to rise to it. I'm telling you, I mentioned loads of episodes ago how much I didn't like it because it's just going to become a thing, and now professionals on YouTube and influencers are now just saying it. It's now-
Really? I don't watch any anymore.
Yeah.
What
Fucking
was even
schmucks.
better was the fact he said he didn't matter. When people have said to him, "You got it wrong," it's like, you know what I mean. Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's like
Go
people
to the
that write.
doctor, he goes, "Yeah, I'm
it's
gonna
like
take
people
the
that write
prostate out
extra
and come out with no
EPC.
dick." Near enough.
What did you just say, Rob?
So it's like going to your doctor to have your prostate out, and they chop your dick off, and he goes, "Near enough." same ballpark. You know, where do you draw the line?
Near enough.
When
You
is
know what
near
I
enough?
meant.
You know what I meant? Yeah.
Mr. Two Bumholes. Breezy in here.
Jordan could use that. Get some more coral to Canada. Extra bum.
Yes.
It's funny that I have only learned the word boof since creating RAF, right? But I only ever think of it in regards to Canadians. Because that's how it all came about. Prison Pocket, that's the one.
Prison Pocket, yeah. Jeez.
Anyway, Jim, your next tank.
I'm so kind of burnt out with my tank. I don't really have a plan for a next tank, and I don't really have the one thing that I would do if I wanted to spend a bunch of money, like you all know, I don't spend money on my reef. I do everything as cheap as fucking possible. But if I was going to do like a new display tank, I have had so much fun in doing I barely do fucking shit tank with the little $50 shadow box on the back of it. I would do a large peninsula tank, but I would still put it against a wall, and the one back wall I would have be an entire shadow box. And I would probably fuck more with the shadow box than I would with the coral, because the coral's just going to become what it becomes, and I don't, whatever. But I would probably try and do something cool that you really haven't seen before. Maybe more artistic with the tank than just corals. Like I've put some softies in there. I'll put some acros in there. I'll put, some, I don't know, anemones in there. Doesn't really matter anymore. They're all corals to me, and I'm able to keep them all. So I like the non-photosynthetic coral. So maybe I had more of those, but I wouldn't do a fucking lagoon. I think that's stupid, but.
So, Jim, I was talking earlier about my two passions marrying up with mangroves, being plants and then reef tanks. Is there any way you could marry your passions of your ceramics and things like that? Could you design your skate in any way?
Well, that's what. I did my scape, the one I have now. If you looked at my Instagram, you can see before and afters. So, I think that was just part of it. And I had never done a large scape, so I think it turned out pretty well with kind of like a artistic 2/3 view, so people's eyes can be caught on both sides of the tank, and so long that I think it works to separate it as almost two separate little reefs in there, and that actually works with the fish too, because they live on the different rocks because it's so long. And they're not rocks anymore. It's all coral. So that's what I think I'd do with the shadow box, is I would try and do some stuff with the shadow box to also make it look like there's bigger stuff in there than is actually in there. Even make large fish, sharks, eel, whatever, come in and out of it. Like I could do something really crazy with robotics and stuff with a shadow box, and then have a reef in front of it. I mean, eventually the reef will outgrow it, and you won't be able to see it like my tank now. You can't really see it. I can't even get to the back to clean it anymore. It's driving me fucking crazy. So
you need to get the hammer in there.
I do. I gotta fucking chisel it. It's driving me nuts. So I mean, my next tank is going to be my display reboot. Really, I'm gonna take all the coral out, and that's why I cleaned up my frag tank, was to, start sifting through my frags, see what I got, see what I could use. And I mean, if I cut up my main display, my frag tank's going to overflow. I don't know what I'll do. But I'll have a lot of juicy colonies to replant, because I need to restart.
Send them to Alex.
To Alex. Yeah, I was about to say, he's got some space.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. But some of it's unhealthy, it's grown so much that there's, dead coral underneath it,
Bush food.
Just because it's grown over. So, yeah, if I had a bunch of money,
eats it.
Yeah. Yeah. Will it eat the dead coral, or will it just eat
just the live
tissue
stuff? But you're so good at growing it, and I bet you could.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of bushes outside.
I bushed my first coral last week and felt good.
Nice.
I feel like there's a market for artisanal, organic calcium reactor media. I feel like you could really charge out the ass for some pure coral calcium reactor media.
I think you just, find
smell.
Go to one of those weird stores that sells like crystals and teeth and shit, and grind up a little teeth, put it in there in my pot, and it'll grow coral 300% faster.
Sorry, did you just say you go to a store that sells teeth and crystals?
Yeah. Those. Find some shark teeth or something, grind them up, and
do we have a store like that in UK, Rob, other than Aldi?
Aldi? Is it the German store? Fucking Germans sell shark teeth?
No,
well, I heard
really.
Teeth grow coral 300% faster. Ground up teeth, right?
Ground up teeth.
Well, this took a turn.
And I can sell a frag for $99. You all fucking know, and you want to be on your best behavior.
Who are we ripping into? I've lost track.
You lost track? You don't remember Novum?
Yeah, they claimed white coral would grow 300% faster. I thought it was bone grafts, though, not dental stuff. I forget what technology. Stuff. Well, either way,
I thought it was dental.
300% faster.
Of a frag. One frag, $99. Or maybe it was a pack of 5.
Rob, there's conversations that happen on RAF when you and I are completely fast asleep. And I try and catch up, but some nights it has been so busy, I can't consume it all before they all wake up. So I've just got to quickly get, and it sounds to me like I've missed something.
Sorry.
You don't remember those
plugs?
What was the name of that?
A place called Novum. Novum. They went on and did a live stream with Reef Club, and they were talking about how they did engineering about like taking ground up something from teeth and molding parts of that into frag plugs, and they were getting 300% faster growth with their SPS on that frag plug. So they thought incredible. They could sell 5 frag plugs 1 inch, 2 centimeter diameter for $200 because there was 300% faster growth.
Is that because their control frags are in bleach?
1 3/4 frag plug is $99.50.
I can still get them.
Yeah, on their website. Website's still up.
300% faster growth.
Hold on, for how many plugs?
In Novum.
1. Uno.
What?
Kill yourself.
1 fucking plug. It's single pack.
Hold on.
If you want,
with no coral attached.
No. You're sitting in front of your computer. Put in novumcoral.com.
I am surprised you've missed this, though. That's
the UK site may be Lemon Party. So just give that a check.
Fuck you. Novum what?
Novumcoral.com. NOVUM coral.com.
Okay, Novum Coral, the new gold standard in coral care.
Fetuses or something.
Hold on.
I forgot about this.
That one hexagonal fucking thing is $100.
Yes.
Now you can see why I want to grind up teeth and put them in my sculptures for encrusting coral. Like I can make so much money.
Perfect sense.
That means that like an acro would grow overnight, like into a huge colony. Yeah.
But like
you leave and come back
in the morning. It's just fucking out the top of the tank.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
If you click on our mission, it says to rip people off. Bravo.
Have they got any in stock though? Because I'll be gutted if they're out of stock.
Well, I'm just about to buy the last one, so fuck you.
Bollocks.
Okay, moving on. Jordan, your next tank.
Right.
What do you mean, Jesus Christ?
Yeah, man, those frag plugs have me bothered. That's like everything wrong with the fucking reefing industry. They just like slap these guarantees on shit and call it a product. But I digress. That's a different episode. My next tank, I guess I had like 2 interpretations of the question. So like multiple tank syndrome where I'm gonna like add tanks. Probably nothing exciting like a frag tank, a quarantine tank, or a lagoon tank, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. But
See, no one really wants to do a lagoon.
I mean, actually though, like a shallow, like white lit with softies and like macro and shit, kind of like the new guy in our Discord setup is pretty cool in my opinion. Just kind of let it go crazy. I do like that look, but when I was thinking about my next tank, I interpreted it as like my like main display tank, I guess. So basically, Jim's tank. Little bit different dimensions, I think. Like I would like it to be a bit more shallow and a bit more deep front to back, but like just a massive tank that I could have all the fish and stuff that I want and still grow like a relatively mixed reef.
Do you think you could boof the tank back to Canada?
No problem.
In pieces, or would you just go all in one?
No, all in one.
All in one.
Just back it up, Jordan.
Impressive. That is impressive.
But yeah, Jim's tank, I think, is like a really good representation of what I would like my next tank to look like. Because I, like, for people who don't follow in the Discord, I went from like a 40 cube to a 90 gallon. And yeah, that difference was nice because now I can keep like a couple tanks and stuff. But when you're actually looking at keeping fish, it's really not a big fucking tank. So like a 220, 280 in that range, I think. And then I can, reach those fish like the hippo tang, the naso tang, those bigger guys. So.
Okay. So
Sweet.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to get to that level.
Gallons. Like gallons. What are those numbers?
So
gallons, but
Gallons.
what is that?
There's not
Like
that
900 liters?
many here. There's Rob, you're not to that point yet. You only got 2. Your other friend's not here to push that around. We're still in gallons here, and you need to convert.
That was a good try, though. A for effort on that one, Rob.
Thanks.
I do really miss Scotty because Scotty used to really argue it from a scientific point of view, and it just made my day because everybody here does actually respect real science and real doctors and people that are experts, and he was an expert, and we all just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You can't argue with Scotty.
Water became a measurement tool.
Thing is, we don't use volume in the UK, really.
Because a liter of water is 1 kilo. So it all scientifically makes sense.
1,000 grams is 1 liter of water.
We don't, even over here though, we don't go, I've got a 1,000 litre tank, really, do you?
Nope.
No, we don't use that.
You use the sizes more, right? Like the length, width, and height.
Yeah.
I feel like Ron has said on several occasions, I've got a 350 liter display tank behind me. Like, I think on a few instances you've said that.
The only reason why I say that is because the Red Sea tanks are sold by volume in liters. So this is the Red Sea
they call them
300
like
XL.
650s,
So 300.
750s.
That's the only reason why I say that. Yeah.
So when you talk about size of tanks, I think, you talk about Jordan going to a bigger tank. I think there's front to back is cool and it gives you more depth. But I think there's a huge difference, and Rob probably sees it in his tank, just going from 6 feet to 8 feet. Because those tanks like to swim. And if you can just extend that tank, they're so cool to watch when they just shoot from side to side.
Yeah.
And in a 6 foot tank, they can't do it as much. Yeah, they can do it, but you start extending it. They can go. Some of them.
Who makes an 8 foot tank? That's a custom tank.
I don't know.
There's no marketers.
I bought mine used. I bought it used $600. So
It's probably custom though, I think.
Your tank's front to back is shallow, right? Right, Jim? Yours is only like 18 inches.
Yeah, it's only 18 inches.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But I don't have any huge fish, so front to back isn't a huge issue for them, like turning or doing any of that kind of stuff. But with the 8 foot, like my powder brown tang, You can see the difference in the fish. Like the powder brown tang needs that. You can see it needs it because it will just swim the length back. So the other fish dart back and forth, but the powder brown loves the straight line, loves the distance.
Yeah, they do.
So
mine are the same. That like my Achilles, my soul hole, powder blue, and then
they love the.
They do it so quick as well. You know, if you want to get from one end to the other, you're talking less than 2 seconds to do 30.
Yeah, the ears just go back and forth too. They just love it.
Yeah, sometimes, they just pace if they want to sprint up and down. But
are there any measurements of how much those fish swim in the wild? Like how much distance they cover each day?
Not that I'm aware off the top of my head.
Kilometers.
Yeah, that'd be cool though. It'd be cool.
I bet some are tagged. I bet some are tagged though, caught and tagged and recorded somewhere.
This is so similar to your live stream this morning, Rob. It's so bizarre how many of the same subjects are coming up. It's weird. You literally talked about how much fish travel in the ocean.
I did. Yeah. It is. I know. I just think a lot of people forget. I think when they have the tank, they have a 6-foot tank, and everyone basically classes a 6-foot tank as a big tank. And it is if you put small fish in it. It's not a big tank. You put a powder blue in it. You put a powder brown in it.
Yeah.
A 6-foot tank is a small tank for that fish. That's my personal thing, because they travel kilometers every day on the ocean. So
and that's kind of why I stick to nano fish that just kind of hover around rocks that have like a little territory.
Well,
so I don't have the setup for.
Are more difficult to run than a bigger tank because you can't have, my tank. I don't worry about algae because I've got 17 tanks in there just eating every speck of algae, so I never think about it. If I've got a nano tank with no tanks in, I've got to approach it with a different, got a list of critters, haven't I?
I find smaller tanks infinitely harder to look after than big tanks.
Yeah.
So
unless you just stick and host some clowns with nems, right? What the fuck?
Yeah, that works.
I mean, you don't do shit.
Anyway,
it's like
moving on. Jason.
No, Jordan wasn't done.
Before we move on. Yeah. So, Jim, you talk a lot about like the length of the tank. What would be like your ideal tank that you could realistically keep in your house? That like, would you have a 1 foot by 1 foot by 12-foot tank, or would you have like what would those dimensions look like?
I would stick with 24 inches top to bottom.
Yeah.
Because I like the coral. You need room for a coral to grow. Like you talk about a lagoon, a 12-inch lagoon. Fuck that. The coral's growing out of the water in 2 years. You're done. So you need the depth.
2 days.
And then
frag plug.
Fuck the depth.
Yeah.
No part of me wants to go to my armpit to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, then you're cutting coral all the time.
19, Zach.
That is seriously my ideal height is just below armpit where I don't get short sleeves shirts wet.
Well, you just have to. I can help you.
Yeah,
I can help you. Yeah.
What do you got to stick your whole arm in the tank for anyway?
I don't ever have to. I don't have a tall tank.
No, but I don't think I ever stick my whole arm in the tank.
I do.
For what?
I just
dead shells, corals that fall over.
You got tweezers and shit.
Tweezers suck.
Yeah, they do suck.
Jim,
Especially
I remember
grab live coral
ages ago, and you were really weird about tools, and you just kept on going, use your hands. Use your hands.
Yeah,
but when you don't want to stick your whole arm in, it's not an excuse. Just don't stick your whole arm in. Grab the tweezers. I mean, you're picking up shit off the gravel.
Big grabbers or something. Yeah.
I just stick my arm in and then get fucking salt water everywhere, and I wipe it on my shirt, and then I got to change my shirt, and that's reefing. I don't give a fuck.
You just take your shirt off when you do that before you get in. Just take it off.
I mean, you still got the water to deal with. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's what I do. I just shove my fucking arm in and deal with it.
The other thing is, it's nice to have mine in the basement with a cement floor. I don't give a fuck if I spray water all over the place.
Fuck yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. Pull my arm out, shake it off. Fuck it.
Yeah. Nice.
If you got it on carpeting, that would be a mess.
Yep. Been there.
If I reach
many
over,
a wooden floor.
if I reach over the back of my tank, I take my shirt off, and what happens normally is I reach right to the back. My gut just drops into the top of the tank, and all the tangs
And then the
come
mermaids
up and
come out and lick it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'll just stay.
I know
hours.
you shared a little video of the tangs eating from your hands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know you were training them for something that Ron talked about a little bit ago.
That's how you keep your belly button so clean.
It is. Yeah.
I was going to say, they're all addicted to belly button fluff. Which will be blue today. So
very good.
Polishing helmets.
No, not polishing, eating around.
Right.
There's a difference, young man. You'll learn.
Watch that cleaner RAFs.
Mm-hmm.
When he graduates high school, those are college classes.
Google pearl fish. Anyway, moving on. Jason, your next tank. Obviously, you've actually just only started recently a new tank, but what's next?
Well, it was supposed to be another tank that matched this one next to it, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I think maybe in a year or two, I'm just going to go to one big tank, like a 120, 180, which isn't big, but it's much bigger than what I have, because this is only a little bit better than what I had before. I mean, it serves the function, but I still don't have enough. So, and then maybe
two tanks.
Well, and then the future plan would be, like the next tank would probably be something large in the basement, like a 400-gallon plywood tank.
I thought that was like a euphemism or something big in the basement.
No, not at all.
Sorry, Rob. Did you ask a question?
I was just asking what the think about having two same-sized tanks next to each other was.
The original plan was one to be SPS dominant and one to be LPS dominant.
Okay, right.
And kind of keep them separate, all in one system, but separated. In the meantime, I may do something. I may put something up next to this one, maybe a lagoon.
That's stupid.
Fountain and enemies in it.
So you don't get your sleeves wet, right?
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
Your current tank is just going to be whatever Russ makes it, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, if I can keep some shit's not looking good in there, so I don't know. It's not doing well.
You turn the lights off for 5 days, man. It's got to bounce back.
It was only 4.
What's it taste like?
Shit.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Jim's joke about sleeves was fucking stellar, and everyone just sat there. Funny face. Well done, Jim. Well done. Oh, you all right there, Jim?
No, back just shot.
Oh man,
I feel that.
Yeah, me too.
That sucks.
Jason, your next fish tank.
I don't fucking know. Maybe a lagoon or some shit.
Yeah.
Mangrove. Yeah.
Yes. Hold on, let me just write that down.
Actually, it would be cool to do the thing like I posted for my LFS with the freshwater planted tank inside the lagoon tank. Like the double thing. That would be cool. I would like to do something like that. So you have the best of both worlds. Oh, fuck off, youngster.
Why are you saying Jordan?
We don't like
freshwater boo.
Oh,
yeah.
Freshwater boo.
Well, I mean, freshwater's okay but I mean, it's okay.
If you want to trim plants, get a fucking bonsai. That's my motto. Like,
fair enough.
It's so interesting how many people have such strangely firm opinions on weird shit.
And I've done the freshwater thing. It's just fucking, it's as boring as having houseplants in your house, but you have to maintain them. It's like, I don't know. It's not my thing.
Sorry, Jordan, just for the record, you have to maintain houseplants too.
This coming from the guy who had a
Once every 6
closet
months,
full
I
of
gotta
fucking
repot the
geckos.
fucker, like,
Yeah, you had a closet full of geckos. That's right.
yeah, and guess what? I made my money. All right.
Mr. Opinionated, closet full of fucking geckos.
Has anyone seen the episode of Everybody Loves Raymond where he goes home to his new girlfriend's house and she's just got a bedroom full of frogs?
That's yep.
That's what it reminds me of.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so Jason, look,
I also had a freshwater tank, so I mean, I'm bashing myself as well. Anyways,
don't bash yourself live. Brianna, I'm going to ask you what your next tank is, but I'm assuming it's GLC 2.
I have always wanted a peninsula tank with a drop off on it, with like seahorses and pipefish and macroalgae and white light, natural look.
Is the drop-off thing a big deal over there? So over here, one person got one and it slowly started to filter through, and then everybody talked about getting one. And then the first manufacturer in the UK that started making drop-offs, every single one burst. And it then got a really bad name. And then another company came along and they've made them and nobody wants them anymore because the previous ones burst. So are they a big deal? Are they common over there?
I don't know. I don't really think they're super common, no. I just think they're really cool looking.
They are cool looking. I would love like similarly, I would love a tank like because these are like almost like all custom. Like if you're gonna get something like that, it's a custom tank. I would love like a U-shaped tank.
I was thinking like an L shape.
Sit in the middle and just you have everywhere you look is just fish.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I can't imagine like like that's probably part of the problem, right? Those tanks get 48 inches deep at the drop off. So the pressure is totally different than just a 20-inch, 24-inch deep tank.
Yeah, flow is a whole other ball game in these tanks with all these different dimensions and angles.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's I love the way they look, but that's always what kept me from like seriously thinking about trying one was just the flow. And then you start thinking if there's sand in here, it's just the logistics scared me away. But anytime I see one, I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
How would you skip it?
Thinking with like seahorses, it would be slow flow anyways, right?
Yeah.
How would you escape the drop?
Probably just like an island of rock and then like microalgae for the seahorses to attach to. I don't know.
So would you have rock actually coming down the drop off?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Drop off tanks are cool.
Those hermits got to get back up to the top somehow.
Right.
A spotlight with some cool shadows and something like that would look neat.
Yeah.
You know, like a single point of light instead of a big array.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool to specifically plant corals that like those specific areas. So, you know, NPS underneath the drop off, maybe something like that, and have it really low lit down the bottom, things like that. That would be cool.
The gorgonias would be great for those seahorses.
I'm now thinking.
Can you get off the shelf ones that
as tall as those as gorgs get? Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Sorry, what were you saying, Rob?
Is there a manufacturer in the US which makes off-the-shelf drop-off tanks, or are they all custom?
They're custom.
They're custom. Would Planet would make them, I would think, right? I don't know.
I think anyone would make them.
Somebody makes
DIY ones people do, where they just take a bigger tank and then they find glass and they waste half of their tank, which seems hard to do to get rid of a bunch of space. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah,
I see what you mean. Okay.
I thought somebody made one.
eShops
a drop-off tank. Yeah, I thought somebody did.
Right.
Did Innovative Marine have a series of them?
It might have been IM.
Yeah, that's what Russ was just saying.
Yeah.
So, Ron, you were saying you didn't want one because they tend to burst?
No, sorry. It's not that I don't want one. I would have one now. I've ironed out all the creases. And
I was going to say, don't you have a Red Sea behind?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Jordan's trying to set up his joke. That was fucking great.
Well done, Jordan. Well done. Yeah, so I think they sorted it out. They made glass thicker, the silicon seals far deeper and bigger and chunkier and stuff like that. And but nobody wants them now. I think the reputation got so bad that the manufacturer still makes them, but I don't hear them selling many. So yeah, Brianna, a drop off, very good addition, Mister.
Well, have you? Wait. So before you even talk about doing the drop off, you're talking about a lot of critters and different type of animals that aren't typical, that are way more advanced in the hobby. So have you had seahorses at the store, or have you had?
We've tried a couple of them, but I don't think we were really that set up for them. It's definitely something we would have to plan more for in the future, I think.
Because I always love going to a fish store, seeing a seahorse tank with a bunch of macros and trying to count. Like, it's almost like hidden picture. Like, how many seahorse? Holy shit, there's another one. Didn't even fucking
just, like,
see that little
pop up.
bastard. Yeah.
I thought you guys did a lot with like pipefish and stuff. I mean, I know I've heard a lot about them from Zach, and I feel like you guys have had success with certain ones at least.
We've had a couple that have been here for a long time, but we don't really see them very much. They kind of hide a lot, but they're definitely one of my favorite fish.
The blue spot's really nice and easy.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon face ones, you think they're doing really, really good, and then they end up, dying. So I'm kind of over those.
Can I just double check?
Is it Erectus? Is it those ones?
Which one? What did you say?
Is it Erectus, the species, the seahorse that you get, or?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Because my local LFS breeds them, and he always has tons in there.
That's cool.
Really?
Yeah, that's Paul Ron at AAC.
Ah,
yeah.
He's the one that's over at
Fragbox
at the moment.
Yeah.
So, Brianna, can I just ask you, where is your store?
Where is it?
Yes.
Petoskey, Michigan.
Oh, and what's it called?
Great Lakes Corals.
And how could somebody that was watching this, not a lot of people, how could they find you?
We're on Facebook, and we have a website, greatlakescorals.com. Instagram too. We're just not on there a whole bunch.
And TikTok.
And TikTok,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Pretty much all the socials.
You're on the Tickety Talk.
You got a website, right?
Yes. We do have a website. Zach just kind of revamped it, so.
When's the next live auction?
That's a Zach question. I don't know.
Move
That's above
on.
my
They're both on here. Normally Brianna would be working right now. You guys
I know, I'm slacking.
You gotta put Zach to work. He just sits at that fucking table with the GLC behind him all the time.
But he
taking
looks majestic.
Pictures. Doing the website.
Zach,
I know, he's very important.
Let's hear what your next tank would be, Mr. Budnick.
I've always wanted a cold water tank. Thought those are pretty cool. Definitely different animals than you'd normally keep. I would do some deep water gorgonias, that maybe some sea fans and stuff in there. Probably really low flow, dark light. And have you ever seen lumpfish? Those videos of little lumpfish? They're like those cute little balls that just like float around and jump on things. And they're so cool looking, I think.
That's a really interesting idea, having a cold water, because obviously off the northwest of Scotland, we have a coral reef. And that's something I've always thought about. How could I create something? It would be infinitely harder than this shit here that is thousands of miles away from me to try and keep it cold enough. So not going to happen.
I think my biggest worry is condensation. I'm trying to figure out how would you keep all the moisture off the front of the glass if your inside's 75 to 78.
Well,
And
couldn't you do one of those overflow tanks?
I guess so. And then it would just always be wet, you're saying?
Yeah.
Embrace
Or
the wetness.
inch thick acrylic.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it'd have to be really thick, or and I probably wouldn't do a very big, like maybe a 45-gallon type of cube type thing. I don't think
you stole my answer.
Damn.
Because I'm thinking like back to maybe a decade ago. I don't even know what forum, but I remember somebody had the super thick acrylic, a chiller. It was smallish, but they had like little strawberry anemones. And what are the fish that super small, like little goby that's from that area? But yeah, every time I think of a biotope tank, I think of cold water, Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. And there's cool starfish and stuff that all those crazy amounts of arms and big isopods that look pretty cool. I think those are pretty fucking deep, though. I don't think I could keep those. I'm not actually sure what temperature I would even need for what I want to do. I think it's like 62 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
17?
Yeah.
Right around there, 16, 17.
And if we bitch about putting our arms in the water now.
Right.
In university, they had a cold water system, but it was all in those tubs. Obviously, it was more for research and less for like a display factor, but you could still have like a top-down style setup if you were worried about condensation and didn't want to do the overflow.
That's a good idea. The guys at MACNA had they were showing off their chillers, and they just had their aquarium set up wet as hell on the outside, but I think they were just trying to make it as cold as possible to show off, but they were just giving away water bottles in the aquarium that they were freezing cold for their chiller. I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking cold.
Would it be an option to have it outside where you are, or would that be just two vast swings?
Way too vast. We go negative 20 to 99 degrees.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Not an oceanic temperature. Not a climate like Scotland where it's just rainy, fucking windy, and cold all the time.
Pretty stable, just shit all the time.
I would take that, honestly.
See, to be honest, there's some days that Jason will talk on here, and Russ as well. And I totally agree with you. I shouldn't genuinely be moaning. It's 15 degrees here today, which in August is absolutely pathetic, but it's totally comfortable. Yeah. And you guys are struggling with your temperatures. That's insane.
Yeah, I've considered becoming nocturnal.
Last couple of days haven't been too bad. It's only been like 85.
I think Rust said there that he's considering becoming nocturnal, which I think probably is his ideal situation because he just fucking hates every other human on the planet. So,
There's probably rules in the subdivision, though, for mowing that late.
Battery powered mower for the win. So, Russ, your next tank.
Unmute.
Yeah, I'm making a coffee. Just turn the espresso machine on. Realistically, I've been getting more into the frags, SPS frags again. I have seen a 4x8 by 1 foot glass tank in person before, and it was super interesting. So maybe something like that, just with shrunk dimensions. I'd like to be able to, reach everywhere in the tank without having to half get in it. So nothing too big, but I don't know, probably just more of a frag tank. I'm getting more into growing coral. Not
Collecting
super
stuff.
into fish. Yeah, exactly. So
I think that's half the attraction.
Realistically,
an idea for me is the fact that it is kind of like my frag tank. It's just so easy to do everything.
Yeah, I like the nano fish, but I think the big fish are cool. They're just not what I want to keep. So I don't think I'd ever try to make the space for, a foot long fish. I did the Fowler thing a while back. Got some bigger fish and it was cool, but just falling back into that SPS hole again where I think I'm good at it. I think it's fun until I kill them all.
Super fucking horny. Which is now what I'm going to say instead of stupid fucking hobby. Better be careful, actually.
I like the technology in the hobby a lot too. So ideally, maybe like a bigger frag tank, a little shallower, and space underneath it for a fancy sump and one of those automatic calcium reactors.
Automatic?
Yeah, like those Destacos or the what is it? The Twin-Tech, Deltec Twin-Tech.
Oh, Zach's now Googling. That's more money going, Brianna.
Hey, we're finding a use for all those corals.
Yeah.
I'd be
It's
leery
like
of
automatic. I don't have to do shit. All right.
I'd be leery of a Destaco in the States.
Say again, sorry, Alex.
I would be leery of using a Destaco in the States. I've known a few people that have them, and you better buy all your replacement parts right away because there's only one distributor in the U.S. and if Unique doesn't have parts, you're SOL.
What a fuck all price for a calcium reactor for Deltec. $2,400 for their small calcium reactor.
That the Twin-Tech.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just a carbon dose and a peristaltic pump is all you really need.
No, I didn't go with the Twin-Tech because I was told that they're overcomplicated and they break. So
inexpensive, or
I just went with a traditional calcium reactor with a peristaltic pump.
am I really that fucking cheap of a person?
Looks like it.
Oh my god.
I thought this was all wishful thinking stuff, not realistic. Realistically,
Yeah.
I'm not changing shit. I'm not doing fucking shit. I didn't rig shit.
Well, I would just have Andrew Sandler put his tank in my house then. And
I'd just kick him out and take his house. Okay.
There you go. Ron's busy calculating his edits right now. Look at him.
So yeah, Russ, just to go back to your next tank, you're talking about something bigger and SPS dominated.
Yep. Bunch of nano fish. Maybe something like, the tank I have right now is 4 feet wide, 2 feet front to back, and I think 18 inches tall, 16 inches tall. So, it fits the spot in the room that I have. Oh, I'm never going to change that tank unless something happens to it. I'm not going to set up another tank anywhere. I'm too lazy for that. So, I'll be sticking with what I got for a while.
So Alex has joined. Alex, dare I even ask what your next tank will be? I'm going to guess smaller. Smaller. It's got to be smaller.
Probably not necessary, but I could see maybe some temp tanks for holding, or maybe if I wanted to, maybe some more tanks for mantis shrimp. But that would probably be it. I don't foresee the need. I got a little ways to go on filling what I have.
Once the reef gets overgrown with coral, you should just lift that barricade in between the two tanks and just fucking
unleash the munchers.
No, because they'll there will be deaths of other inverts and stuff that I don't want.
Oh, I know.
So, but yeah, because like, well, I toyed with the cleaner shrimp and the fish only tank, and that was a poor decision on me to do that during daylight hours. As the Spanish hog decided it didn't like the cleaner shrimp other than for a meal. So, but I'm gonna see. I think next month I'm gonna get some cleaner gobies, and they're small enough that they could fit through the screen. So, we'll see how that works. But yeah, I don't think I could ever see removing that divider unless I was just going to turn the whole thing reef.
But then you'd have a lot of fish to rehome. Massive fish.
Yeah, and I like the fish only stuff too much. You know, because now
a fish rescue out of the one side now. We can just reach out to you, and I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Even in my one video, because I did take that Flamangi tang, I was very specific in saying I will consider things.
Right.
But I would say this too, like someone's got to get rid of something. I really hope they don't expect me to pay for it. I had a couple people that are like, well, yeah, could you take it? And I'm like, I could. And they're like, all right, 400. And I'm like, no, that's not how this is going to work. It's you have something you don't need anymore and can't house. So you're not going to get compensated for that.
I only said it because you explicitly said that in your video. And I was like, I can only imagine people are like, well, you have to take this because you can house it. It's like, no, I don't.
Dude, I know what I have. No low balls.
Yeah.
DM is the key.
Yeah, DM is the key.
I have, well, like my LFS once, I can't remember what kind of puffer it was. Was it maybe like a Mappa puffer or something? I don't know. I looked it up and the puffer got like 3 feet long, and I'm like, no, I'm not taking that.
That poor fish was sitting in like a 25-gallon tank as a foot-long puffer, just fucking rotting away.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about then.
That was sad. Every time I go in there and see it just fucking like floating in a water, and it just was like
Alex,
taking up the whole tank.
You should have took them. You should have took them then.
I can't house it its whole life, so I gotta discourage my LFS sometimes. And like the one that he got that I really was like, really, dude, why did you? He bought a Titan trigger to sell. I was like, why would you even buy that, man?
Good price.
Yeah. It was like, it's like 6 or 8 inches. And I'm like, yeah, man. Come back in a year. I'll probably get asked about that one too eventually.
It's like any of the
I once got a box full of like 5 Sohal tanks, and I had never ordered one ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Soho would be like, I'll probably get 1 or 2, but they're going to be like capstone fish. Like they're going to be like one of the last things I add because they're such dicks.
Rob, I love watching yours.
Your
videos.
Nice.
Yeah, and yours isn't a complete dick though, is he? Is he not quite a well-behaved?
Convict keeps him in check.
Yeah, fucking. I don't want to talk about dick fish. No, he's not too bad. He seems reasonably calm in there. But I mean, he's boss of the tank, so I guess he's happy where he is.
My Sohal and Lamric Angel always get into it. They're kind of similar colors and size right now.
Hate each other.
They can be dicks.
So they hate each other, did you just say, Brianna?
Yeah. They go back and forth a lot.
Has your Lamarck started getting the tail streamers yet? Our one in the shop tank just
Not
over
really.
6 months has started getting them, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I assume it will be either the male or the female, though. Just your luck, innit?
Yeah.
Does it have boobies? Jason, the only person
Jason's
to laugh.
chuckle. Beavis, little Beavis and Butthead laugh.
Yeah.
It's very similar. So I think we've gone through everybody on what they would like to do for the next tank. Is there anything anyone would like to add, or has anyone thought they've heard somebody else's idea and now it's slightly changed their mind?
I would like to keep a seahorse tank. I think that would be cool.
You've definitely got space for it, Jim.
Yeah, I just am too lazy. Like, I got to keep it clean and come up with a way to automate siphoning out food and adding food. And
I'm not sure how exciting they are long term though.
Yeah, I think that it would get tiring, like to keep it up.
A gecko in a box. Just
The closest I ever come to that is some of the pipe fish, but they're pretty self-reliant.
Yeah.
You know, I've always avoided seahorses because, like, I remember even in stores when we used to get them, and it was like, it's almost like you have to like build like a 25-gallon display and then behind it have like a 300-gallon tank that's just pods and stuff. Like that's the pelagic zone, and it just feeds into it constantly so that they could be fed all day. Maybe. Yeah, it's just too much work for those little guys.
Believe it or not,
like toddlers.
just brine shrimp. Brine shrimp will do them their whole entire life, whether they're nutrition or not. That's what that seahorse girl is doing. All of her hardest stuff is just strictly brine shrimp. And who is the Todd Gardner? That's him, right? From Toyota. Yeah. He was saying that he was preaching to her that you'll never get very great seahorses just doing brine, and then he goes there to check him out, and he's like, "Fuck you! Your seahorses are 10 times better than ours."
Gut load them and stuff, right?
Yeah. Gut load in the brine. Yeah. I just think they're a bit boring after a while. That's my take on the seals.
Rob really does just like what he likes. Anything out of that, shit.
I mean, I don't know. I put seahorses in the same category as reptiles. I've kept reptiles for ages, and they have in a 24-hour period there'll be 15 minutes where they're exciting, and the rest of the time it's just fucking don't do anything.
That sounds about as how often as I'm excited, Rob. To be honest.
I mean, I think we've all been in the hobby long enough, though, where we've tried a bunch of different stuff, and we're all at that point where we're doing what we like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think keeping seahorses isn't about. I mean, they're cool little creatures, but it's more about building an environment that is, as low maintenance as possible for me to keep them healthy. It's more about building the system, I think, than keeping the seahorse.
It's like a painting, isn't it? You hardly move.
I was saying.
Hey Jim, I'll go and look up some seahorses, and I'll print some out for you, and you put them on little strings in there.
Yeah, I'll float them in my next shadow box.
We'll put a wave maker in there, then they move around.
It's like one of those fake
like the Coralwind sets. She's got a seal.
We could get Tom to print some rocks.
Those jellyfish tanks that just blow around little like rubber jellyfish.
Yeah.
I forget where I saw it, but somebody 3D printed some yellow tanks and like had a little connector on them and used them as like dither fish, so that all the other tanks would take out their aggression on the 3D printed thing, and it worked.
Yeah,
they had it like hinged where it would move and stuff.
I think Fisher Hex was doing that. He was one of the people I saw doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's actually not a bad idea to do that, just to let them beat up a piece of plastic.
Yeah, put a punching bag in the tank and sneak in a new fish.
Yeah, I gotta build my acclimation box because I have two residents that are in my 150 in the back room that need to go to the fish only. But I have to get a box first because I'm now happily able to say I've got two porcupine puffers living together in my 150 for 4 weeks now. So another week or two, I'm going to build an acclimation box and move them to the big fish only with the big puffer to see how that goes. So, which could go really well or really badly.
Bad.
So,
I think a cool tank to set up would be similar to like the lagoon and the mangrove topic is like a paludarium tank where like, you have the bottom part be like a softy lagoon style, and then you have your mangroves, and then you could even do like, I don't know, I haven't done the research on it, but like tree frogs or something up top would be neat, I think.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Crocodile.
There's a company here in the UK which they're Global Oaza, and they're now making this all-in-one system where it's a wall that you plant with tropical plants and things like that, and the water then trickles down and it mists, and then you've got a pond at the bottom, so you could have like archer fish and things like that. Right?
It does what?
It does what?
What does it do?
It trickles.
It messes.
What is it? Does it mest?
A sphincter says what?
I was just making sure it mested. I just wanted to make sure that I heard that correctly.
Russ, how am I going to find that to edit that out? I'm going to have to make a note of the time. Fucking cheeky wee sausage. I'm so sorry, Ross, if I missed that. Your fault. I shouldn't have said it.
His face isn't on there. It doesn't even matter. You can say whatever he wants.
He can't.
He's smart.
He's too terrified that somebody here will just use it in a GIF. Pointing no fingers.
I got one picture of him that I quickly grabbed on one of the streams. I'll have to look for it again.
Oh, you've got one?
Yeah, some of you might not even know what Russ looks like. Rob, do you?
No.
We've got
we've got the Christmas card.
We got the Unabomber, Russ.
Yeah, I got the Unabomber picture.
Yeah.
Are you rocking the stash, Russ?
Pretty mowed it off.
I think I'm gonna get I'm working on a mullet, so we're gonna see where this goes.
You're gonna look like Jason pretty soon.
Jason,
I don't know, Ron, if you're...
No. I did the mullet in the 80s, guys. I'm not doing that again. Fuck that. I am too lazy to get a haircut, though, so there's that.
On you go, Russ.
I'm using Kenny Powers from Eastbound and Down as inspiration.
Okay, I could see that.
So you'll get the perm.
We've talked about it.
Quite tall. Kind of, what would you call it? Would you call it? How would you describe it, Mr. Budnick?
For what?
If it's all kind of like big and kind of poofy, what would you say it is? Would you say it would, if it was breezy, would you say it was billowing?
Oh, billow. Yeah, I suppose so. Billowed.
Bellowed
Barnett.
Billowing.
I think this has been the most edits ever, by the way. And probably the least amount of...
Yes! Do you want to explain that to the rest of the group, Ron? Why billowing's making us giggle so much?
So, billow to me is something that moves gently in a summer breeze at a garden party. So, Rob would go out to his garden right now. He'd have a glass of Pimm's, eat a digestive...
into his backyard.
Yep.
Yeah.
A digestive, drink a glass of Pimm's, and his wife would come in the door wearing a beautiful dress, and the wind would just... Let me talk, Jim. And his wife's dress would just slightly blow up, and he would go, "Oh, your dress is billowing in the wind." And then, who was it that told me the other meaning?
I'm not sure.
Don't you dare, Budnick, sit there and shake your fucking head.
Jordan? That sounds like something Jordan would have said.
It does sound a bit childish.
So either Jordan or Brandon, maybe.
Oh, no,
but he's not here.
There's a name. I can't even remember that.
Aren't you born in like 94? Like
93.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
So does anyone else want to explain to the hundreds of viewers the other meaning of the word bellow?
No.
Nope, because I ain't seen
I just thought of bellows as something you stoke a fire with.
Thank you, Alex. A mature response.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, apparently there's another meaning, and I will allow you to Google it.
Just those semantic differences in our cultures. Very funny.
It's
I don't
crazy.
think it will show up on Google.
It's not showing up on Google. It's what Ron said it is on Google.
So is it a local thing then?
No, it wasn't even a real thing. It was just, I was just making a funny. Did you really think it was the real term this whole time?
I don't fucking know. I just wander aimlessly around RAF, and you guys say something, and I go, oh, cool.
So, oh, that means cum guzzler in America.
That's the one.
You want a flat Guinness? Can I get a flat Guinness?
Who drinks flat Guinness?
I don't remember what that's from.
Wasn't that you?
And
drink
that.
The waitress, didn't the waitress ask, "Are you sure you don't want any head with that?"
Clever.
I thought that happened to you. That happened to one of you fuckers.
It definitely
Not
did.
me.
I remember it well.
I forget what that was, but I remember.
I'm not smooth
Wasn't
enough
it to
for that. That's
Jordan
really
in front
good.
of his girlfriend's parents or something?
Oh, dude. I was somewhere at a restaurant and I fucking heard that conversation. And
Are you sure you don't want any head with your Guinness?
I would like some head with my Guinness, actually.
Why
Okay.
don't we have more members?
Yeah, it's a conundrum.
Hey, we got one today. We're at 61 today. 61.
Yeah.
What blows my mind is the people who watch our videos, it's like 2 or 3 to 1 of the people who are on our Discord. I'm like, who the fuck would want to watch these videos that is like that doesn't know our inside jokes and like our Discord and the shenanigans?
I watched a few, and I obviously before I was on the Discord, and I was just like, fucking, who are these people?
What are they on about, right?
Yeah, it is. It's just so weird. The tangents you go off on, I was just like, fucking hell.
Come on, episode 1, Jim going to the petrol station and stuff like that was the porta potty episode. There was so much stuff in that. It was, and that's
intriguing. That's why people come to find out what the fuck's going on.
What is wrong with these people?
Oh, this was a mistake. I'm leaving.
apparently The Simpsons is only famous because everyone watches it, sees how bad Homer is at being a human, and says, "At least I'm not that bad." Well, that's what this channel is. People watch this and go, "At least I'm not that fucked up."
Who's got the most views for videos? Which video has the most views now?
Oh, it's Ryan.
Your
Which
recruit.
Ryan's like 4,000 and some
Russian bot Ryan. Like we don't know.
Still
yeah, he
don't
paid
know what
for-
happened.
He paid for those views.
Yeah, I was going to say just paid for them. He's bought them. Cheapskate.
Well, whatever he paid has run out because it's just stopped.
Like
Yeah.
almost
Jason
200
is-
views a video.
Jason
He's
has
just
over
watching it
30 now.
himself.
Jason's Bullfront's got 30 views.
37?
Oh man, it's went up. A couple of people have
Yeah.
watched it then.
Well, now and
I want
again,
mine just to get deleted.
now and again, I feel so bad. I just put it on before I go to sleep.
You know the bad part about it is I've never even watched
Fire
it
up a VPN.
because I'm like, I'm not watching
Make
this
it look-
bullshit.
After a video, we should all make some fake accounts on YouTube and just go throw some likes on there. You could get like another 12.
It doesn't matter. I am doing this purely for us. This is all about us all having fun. I don't give a fuck who watches it, obviously, because look at what we're doing.
Hopefully, nobody does watch anymore.
Yeah, because
I'm going to scare people off.
I'm going to go out there in a year's time, and a kid's going to call somebody a billower, and it's like, what do you mean? Well, she's a cum guzzler. Where did you hear that?
It's American.
What the fuck is that?
Thank you so much to everybody who has cleared their calendar to take part. Extra special thanks today to Brianna for joining for your first time. I'm assuming we will never see you again, and I don't blame you. No, seriously, thank you very much, everybody. We'll get the next episode booked in, and please hit like and subscribe if you like it. And please check out our vendors at the end of the video, especially Great Lakes Corals in Petoskey, Michigan. Thanks, everybody. I'm so impressed. I don't believe it.
I can't hear a fucking thing at the moment. Hold on. That's it. I'm good.
Is that you? You on?
Yes.
Hey. I can't believe you're wearing your t-shirt. I'm going to have to go and put mine on.
What's that?
A t-shirt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, fuck me. Come on.
Okay. I'm going to go and get mine on.
Okay.
I must be the only garden centre owner that has fucking costume changes in the corner of my office. What's with the doctor's outfit, Ron? Is there something you're not telling me?
Something we should know. Are you doing prostate exams on the side?
Yeah, to me, a prostate exam goes like this. Bend over, sir.
You're good to go.
Yeah. I thought it was super fucking horny.
I was just like, oh, bastard, he's done me. He's absolutely done me.
Bernadette was sitting there and I was crying and she said, what's the matter? I said, he actually did it. He said it.
That's because I see you in the chat and my brain goes, I'm on reefy as fuck. I'm good to go. That's what happened. I just switched off. And then I just went, oh no, did you see me? I just went, oh fuck.
I loved it. Like, absolutely loved it.
The chloride.
I think the colder the water, the harder it is. How's our lab? How's the scientist? We've got a scientist here, right? Doctor?